What's up, everybody out there in the YouTube trucking community? Sean Cahalan, Christian brother trucker, coming at you again with another video. And today, this video is going to be a little unconventional because I'm going to be talking about some Christian views. My views on your path in life, and a lot of my thoughts that go along with what I've learned over the last 3 weeks to about a month, or a little bit more, a little bit less than that. And I'm cooking some pizzas, so hang on one second while I take care of something in the kitchen. You want to be out here on the road and you want to make really good money, you got to set yourself up on the truck with a nice big old fridge and microwave and freezer and all of that, so that you can shop at Walmart and take more money home. That's how I feel about it. Anyway, so there's a lot of motivational videos out there on YouTube. There's a lot of motivational self-help gurus out there that will try to tell you, to be strong, to fight the battle, and to never give up, and to fight hard. And that the harder you fight, the more that you'll get out of life, and things like that. I don't think that that's a Christian view. And I'm going to tell you why. Jesus came to earth to sacrifice himself for us so that we can fight spiritually against the forces of evil and temptation. One of the main sources of temptation is greed, chasing the money. And anybody knows that in order to make more money, it takes more effort. It takes micromanagement. It's hard. And the more greedy you are, the more stress you're going to bring down on yourself by serving to get more money quicker, faster, and things like that. Christ comes to give you peace, and his peace gives you abundance and the feelings of satisfaction and being content with your lot in life. God does want to provide for us, and God does want to help us financially, spiritually, physically, against temptation, and in all areas of our lives. If you have to work at something and it's stressful, and it's hard, and it's difficult, and it's continually that way, that's not peaceful. And I don't believe that that's what God wants us to do. I do believe that God wants us to work hard for our money and to make honest money. Yes, I do believe that. But I think that God wants to give us peace. And in life, when you're faced with two decisions, if you're like I was, being at PTL and being happy and content and having a steady paycheck and having steady miles, I wanted more, and I wanted more, and I wanted more. And that's why I went over to Landstar and tried doing what I did. But from the very onset, it was difficult. And I overcame many obstacles to get on over there. And after I got on over there, it was a nightmare. It was 3 weeks of, hell. Everything was difficult. It was not what I thought I was getting myself into. And I found out very quickly that I didn't want to have anything to do with that whole scenario and that whole experience. And so I came back over to PTL. And since coming back over to PTL, I knew that I made a mistake by giving in to my greed and my lust and the wanting to have something right now instead of waiting for God. If you read scriptures and you read the Bible, you realize that God doesn't do anything fast. His prophecies take thousands of years to come through to fulfillment. And it's actually, he's very clear about what he wants, and then of course our minds get involved and we want to make it more complicated. And there's story after story in the Bible of how that comes to pass. But through our greed and our impatience and wanting everything right now and wanting everything to be difficult, and then rising up to that challenge and thinking that that's what God wants, that's not what God wants. God wants his children to be happy, fulfilled, to love God and love your neighbor, and to help each other out, and to be loving and kind and graceful, and all of those things that lead towards peace. Now, if I'm greedy and I'm chasing money, I'm trying to find out where the camera is on this thing, because I think it's down there. I'm not sure. So if I'm not looking at the camera, I apologize. I think it's, yep, it's right there. Okay, so I'll look right there. If you're greedy and you're chasing the money and you're, it's stressful. And God does want us to be happy and fulfilled, but he wants us to be satisfied with what we have. And so ultimately, that's why I came back over here to PTO, was because there's less stress and less drama over here. Yeah, I do the same job, I do the same work, and so everything else about it, you know, I'm doing the same thing as I was doing before, but it's a lot less stressful. There's a lot less drama, and things are a lot more clear. And when I came back over here, I was reminded by my wife that I'm supposed to be a trainer here at PTL. I'm supposed to pass on my wisdom and knowledge that I've attained in trucking, and I'm supposed to be in that trainer role, in that teaching role. And through that, I'll glean experience through working with people, passing on knowledge, and working with people, and making it not just about me, but passing on that knowledge, and working within PTL, within the training program, within you know, management, and taking these new drivers, bringing them out on the road and training them in a safe and efficient manner to teach them how to do things right, to take the time to make sure they know how to back and they know how to do their job safely. But, you know, of course, in doing things that way, you know, well, that's not fast enough, you know, and I don't want to deal with other people, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that, and it's all very self-centered. And so, you know, I want my own truck, and I want to be a BCO and a truck owner and blah blah blah, and me, and my way and my way, my way and my way. Well, it's all very self-indulgent and satisfying only the self, and I've realized that that's the wrong attitude to have. And so I think that that's why God wants me to be a trainer, and to stick it out where I'm at and train and save up the money and take the time, and to follow things in a proper path and do it slowly instead of being impetuous, impatient, rushing out to go buy a truck and then to go lease it on and do my own thing and then end up falling on my face again, to be humbled by God again. So that's kind of what I mean about how if it's quick and it's your way and it's selfish and it's all of that, and it's through greed and having to have things a certain way and being forceful and trying to force life to do what you want your way, it may work out for you, but I think and believe that you're going to live a shorter life that's not as full of riches and blessings that God wants you to have, because they're going to be ill-gotten gains. And you're going to stress yourself out, you're going to be in high stress, you're going to be not happy. And God wants you to have peace and to be happy. If you're doing what you love to do, you have to put some effort into it, but it's going to be almost like automatic. Like, it's just not going to be a burden, because you're going to be doing the right thing on the right path. And if you fight against that, it's going to be very difficult, and it's going to be a struggle and a fight and a struggle and a fight and a struggle and a fight. And I can tell you, if it's a struggle and a fight, you're not on the right path. Jesus said, "For my yoke is light," because he takes the burdens off of you. And if you're walking hand in hand with him, it's not going to be difficult. It's kind of hard to explain. But if you find every day to be a grind, if you find every day to be difficult, and like you feel like you're carrying a big, huge burden, pray. Pray for God to give you awareness and guidance and the ability to see what it is that He may want you to do that you might not be doing right now. And that's my summary of what I've learned since I came back over here to PTL. Was going and doing what I did was all about me seeking to fulfill my way of doing things a lot faster instead of sticking it out where I'm at, which is originally what I know that God wanted me to stay where I was, and I didn't listen to that. And I twisted things and looked for a sign, and then misread and misinterpreted the sign, because when you're chasing signs, the signs and interpretations of those signs can be manipulated by the mind and by the flesh. So I digress off of that a little bit. But this truck that I'm in right now, it's an awesome truck. It's a 2020 Freightliner Cascadia, and it has the EPU and Opti Idle. So all those videos that I told you about how much I love the EPUs, well, this one has one. And that's why I didn't really like the Cascadias, because they didn't have the EPU, and so the Internationals did, but the Cascadias didn't. They had Opti Idle. Well, this one has both, so it's kind of like the best of both worlds. So I'm extremely blessed to be back on the right path, to be back doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I just posted another video talking about my transition back over to PTL from Landstar and the BCO that I was on with. And I signed a non-disclosure agreement, so I'm bound to not say the name of the BCO that I was working for. But if you go back and watch the videos that I posted about the Landstar qualification process, and the other one where I was, I think it was the Landstar qualification process. If you go back and watch that video, I mentioned there who I went to work for. And when I mentioned it in that video, I hadn't signed the non-disclosure agreement. So I'm not in violation of that non-disclosure agreement. So going forward, I'm not allowed to say anything about the BCO. So I'll let you put 2 and 2 together, and it'll give me an opportunity to watch some more of my videos. So, right now, looking at the economy, I think the wisest thing that you can do is to get yourself on with a good, stable company that's got good contract freight, and make a steady paycheck, and not take on the whole risk of trying to get into a lease truck right now, just because of what the market's doing. We're heading into another recession, irregardless of what other people may tell you. It's all over the news. It's all over the global economy right now. Now's not the time to buy a truck. Now is the time to sell while the truck values are still up, and convert your truck into cash and put the cash into the bank, and wait for this recession to be over. And then once the value of the dollar goes back up and the truck prices fall, then you put your money back into equipment. But that's just my take on things, and that's what I'm going to do. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe and share. And as always, thanks for watching.